What's your plan when men stop doing the dirty and dangerous jobs that keep society running?
Can you give me an example of which jobs you're referring to?
Logging, plumbing, crab fishing, oil rig. When men stop doing the dangerous jobs, when men stop getting married, when men stop having kids, what's your plan?
I'm not worried about that.
Of course you're not.
No. I don't have a plan, Pearl, for a situation in which men no longer do those jobs.
The very microphone you're using was built by men. The building was built by men. And there's no gratitude or appreciation. You just tell them they're not doing enough. Future is not going to be great for feminists. You guys are going to get the equality that you're asking for. Men are not going to protect women in the streets. Men are going to stop signing up for the infrastructure jobs. The birth rate's going to keep falling, and the future is going to be bleak.
She said, I'm not worried about that, and honestly, that is the scariest part. Not worried because she's never had to think about who built the road she drives on every morning, who climbed the power line in the rain so her lights stay on. The comfort is so deep she can't even see the foundation underneath her. And that's the thing about taking things for granted. You don't notice what holds your life together until it stops. Every building, every bridge, every pipe in your wall, a man built that. And a simple thank you wouldn't kill anybody.
Many years from now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness, in women especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it. They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence. Meanwhile, your grandmothers had way fewer choices, but way stronger direction. They built families, they built the roots, they built something bigger than themselves. And this generation swapped it all for convenience. Legacy for pleasure, meaning for freedom without structure. And here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. The men that they overlooked in their 20s, they didn't just vanish. They were building, failing, learning, becoming disciplined, and becoming men. Men don't peak early. They compound with time. Value grows with time and skill and responsibility.
This right here is the part that makes the internet lose its mind every single time, but it's just reality. A man at 23 is a rough draft. He's broke. He's figuring it out. He's invisible to most women. Fast forward 10 years of discipline and failure and grinding in silence. That same man is a completely different person. His value went up because he put in the work when nobody was clapping. And the hard truth is that dynamic doesn't work the same way in reverse. You don't have to like it, but understanding the rules of the game early is the difference between winning and wondering what happened.
Women don't gain leverage by delaying everything. That is not cruelty, that is reality. Every decision comes with a cost. Modern narratives today did not remove the bill, they just postponed it, and the outcome is usually the same. Distractions instead of connection. Comfort instead of intimacy, and independence without fulfillment. This is not about going backward. It's about correcting the course. We don't need less ambition. We need stronger values, commitment, family, masculine leadership, feminine devotion, and a shared purpose, because freedom without foundation doesn't liberate. It isolates you completely. And tradition wasn't the problem. Abandoning it was.
Freedom without foundation doesn't liberate it. Isolates. That line right there needs to be tattooed on every motivational poster replacing that boss babe nonsense. Because we confused having no restrictions with having no roots. You can go anywhere, do anything, be whoever you want. But if there's nobody beside you and nothing anchoring you down, you're not free. You're just drifting. And tradition gets treated like a dirty word now, but traditions existed because they worked. Abandoning something that held families together for centuries because TikTok said it was outdated is wild behavior.
Many years from now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness, in women especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it. They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence. Meanwhile, your grandmothers had way fewer choices, but way stronger direction. They built families, they built the roots, they built something bigger than themselves. And this generation swapped it all for convenience. Legacy for pleasure, meaning for freedom without structure. And here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. The men that they overlooked in their 20s, they didn't just vanish. They were building, failing, learning, becoming disciplined, and becoming men. Men don't peak early. They compound with time. Value grows with time and skill and responsibility. Women don't gain leverage by delaying everything. That is not cruelty. That is reality. Every decision comes with a cost. Modern narratives today did not remove the bill. They just postponed it. And the outcome is usually the same. Distractions instead of connection. Comfort instead of intimacy. And independence without fulfillment. This is not about going backward. It's about correcting the course. We don't need less ambition. We need stronger values, commitment, family, masculine leadership, feminine devotion, and a shared purpose. Because freedom without foundation doesn't liberate. It isolates you completely. And tradition wasn't the problem. Abandoning it was. Many years from now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness in women especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it. They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence. Meanwhile, your grandmothers had way fewer choices, but way stronger direction. They built families, they built the roots, they built something bigger than themselves. And this generation swapped it all for convenience. Legacy for pleasure, meaning for freedom without structure. And here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. The men that they overlooked in their 20s, they didn't just vanish. They were building, failing, learning, becoming disciplined, and becoming men. Men don't peak early. They compound with time. Value grows with time and skill and responsibility. Women don't gain leverage by delaying everything. That is not cruelty. That is reality. Every decision comes with a cost. Modern narratives today did not remove the bill. They just postponed it. And the outcome is usually the same. Distractions instead of connection. Comfort instead of intimacy, and independence without fulfillment. This is not about going backward. It's about correcting the course. We don't need less ambition. We need stronger values, commitment, family, masculine leadership, feminine devotion, and a shared purpose. Because freedom without foundation doesn't liberate. It isolates you completely. And tradition wasn't the problem. Abandoning it was.
I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this, but modern feminism has destroyed more relationships than infidelity ever will. Prove me wrong.
Good girl in a straw hat with her arms out in a cornfield. That is a scarecrow.
Ladies, let's get into it. Being sexual does not make you feminine. I repeat, being sexual does not make you feminine. Family, I gotta keep it real. I see women today objectifying themselves, then getting mad at men for objectifying them, thinking that that's what it means to be feminine. And family, that ain't it. Plus, the type of man that you attract by showing your Gucci gotcha?
She is absolutely cooking, and I need the whole internet to hear this. You're leading with the physical and then getting offended when men only see the physical. That's like putting a neon sign on a restaurant that says free samples and getting mad when nobody orders the full meal. The type of man who stops for the thirst trap is not the type of man who builds you a home. The protector, the provider, the man who stays when it gets hard. He's looking for character, humility, integrity, dignity. That is what attracts a man worth keeping. Stop advertising a sale on something priceless.
Sis, that ain't the man that you want. Trust me, that's culture lying to us. That's not God. True femininity, that Proverbs 31 says it's humility, integrity, her strength, discipline, and dignity is what defines a feminine woman. Let me keep it real. If you lead with your body, you can't get mad when that's all man sees. You can't plant seeds in the flesh and then expect to reap in the spirit. Galatians 6:8. And come on, family, let's be real. The streets are only fun for at max a season. And I'm stretching it with that. Proverbs 14:12 says this: there's a way that seems right, but in the end, it leads to destruction. Sis, you were created to be so much more than somebody's appetizer. Something or someone to hold them over while they're still searching the menu, trying to figure out what they want to order. Don't trade fake attention for the real love your soul craves. God's way is better. His way leads to life and peace. Romans 8:6. Let's get back to that.
Are men and women equal?
Actually, women are better than men. What do men bring to the world? Literally nothing. Women, the vibes, just everything.
Everything you know and love. If you look around the entire infrastructure of our nation, our economy, every building you walk into, the way that you are portraying your ideas and opinions is through technology and infrastructure and an economy and a nation that was not only built, but it's still maintained to this day by men.
Did men allow you to have that haircut?
You taking personal attacks makes me seem like the more intelligent.
Okay, I understand.
Validate your point, not some personal attack because it's losing the argument. Feminism stops whenever it's inconvenient for y'all. By definition, you are delusional if you cannot defend your ideas.
You should go.
I actually don't go to therapy.
This woman has to fight to feel empowered while this woman already feels empowered. This keeps women in victimhood while this creates self-trust, fulfillment, and inner power. Modern feminism did not free women. It taught us to work against our design, to work like men, compete like men, and live solely on masculine energy.
She just said what millions of women feel but are scared to admit out loud. More medicated, more anxious, more exhausted, more unfulfilled than any generation of women ever. And nobody connects the dots that maybe running on pure masculine energy nonstop has consequences. You weren't designed to be in fight mode. 24/7, your body knows it, even when the culture tells you otherwise. Real empowerment isn't becoming a man, it's fully stepping into the power you already carry. Feminine energy isn't weakness, it's a different kind of strength, and honestly, the world is desperate for it right now.
No wonder women are more medicated, anxious, exhausted, and unfulfilled than ever. In the Western world, we already have the freedom to choose. But instead of owning it, modern-day feminism teaches to blame. It points to capitalism, or the patriarchy, or the pay gap, instead of teaching women to create their own lives. Because a feminine woman doesn't fight for power, she works with the power she has. She aligns with her biology, her cycle, her creativity, her nurturing energy, and builds a life that excites her on her terms. That is real empowerment. Feminism teaches women to fight and struggle for their power, while femininity teaches women to unleash the power already within them. A woman in alignment with her feminine design will always feel more powerful than a woman at war with it.
Honestly, and I'm probably going to get eaten alive for saying this, I feel like a lot of women have forgotten their place. And we live in this inverted world, and I feel we got stuck in this whole feminism thing. Feminism is a scam, and now it's like trying to undo. It is feminism. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, we are equal in value, but we are not equal in traits. We are different. Men and women are different.
I agree with that.
And I'm so sick and tired of why are we fighting to be something that we're not? I am not a man. I will never be a man. And for those of you that make that decision, I love that for you. Period. But there are certain things that are just, y'all are stronger than we are. We are more detail-oriented than you are. There are certain traits that we naturally got from God based on the gender that we are. And it's all based on survival. It's all based on human nature. And so I feel like a lot of women, not all women, but most women have forgotten their place.
Within themselves,
within the order of family, within the order, even like with God. You know, if you just want to start blanketing statements, like, now this is the thing, if you are a masculine woman, that's fine, but stop acting like you're feminine. If you want to be a boss, babe, I don't need no man, you go do you, boo, but stop teaching that that's the answer, because I'm sick and tired of this divide of the family.
He just said something that needs to be on a billboard somewhere. Good men are getting lazy in dating because women are either making it way too easy or acting like they don't need a man at all. And when you remove the reason for a man to step up, guess what he stops stepping up? That's not laziness, that's basic human psychology if there's no role to fill. Why would he show up? Feminism told women they don't need men, and then women got shocked when men believed them and walked. You can't tell someone they're unnecessary for a decade and then be confused when they go find somewhere they are needed. The family unit is crumbling because both sides forgot they were supposed to be a team, not competitors.
I'm sick and tired of now good men, like, and I'm listening to like stories, right? Good men are getting lazy in dating. They're getting lazy in the pursuit because women are making either everything too easy or they're too hands off. So now what's the point in even trying to date a woman when you're the man that you want me to be?
Feminism is a scam. It was sold to women as it would make them happier. But what they're seeing is, hey, if I sacrifice my entire life to go focus on my professional career, it actually doesn't make me happier. I become more depressed and anxious, and there's more stress in life, versus the original plan, the way God designed it, was the husband is the head of the household and the woman is coming up under him, and she gets to take care of the family, and she can have a professional career too, which is fantastic, but it's not her primary aim. Her primary aim is not. And so what we have many women that are dissatisfied with their life. Imagine being a 50-year-old woman with no kids, but you have a bunch of money. You have no family, but you are wealthy. You've worked your way up the social, professional hierarchy. And so I think women are realizing that they want to come back home. They still want to work 100%, but they want their family to be the priority, not their professional.
I'm not with that, so that's what it is.
Well, so you don't agree with reality?
No, I agree with reality.
I'm telling you the reality. We just saw
if we're in a relationship and this is what I won't tolerate, then it's just not what I'm going to tolerate.
Then you'll be single.
That's not horrible. That's not the end of the world.
Do you think you'll be able to find another guy at 30 years old that meets your standards?
Of course.
That will take you seriously when there's women that are 10 years younger than you that they can get with?
30, so. I'm good. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have a problem.
All right. Wow. Let me just keep it raw here. The older you get, the more value you lose as a woman. So as you get older,
being told all these years, like, you don't need a man, focus on your career, be a boss, babe. And then I make it there and I'm like, dude, I just did all that shit by myself. I have no one to celebrate it with. I have no one to go through the ups and downs with. If I fall on my face, I kind of just have to pick myself back up. I have friends and family, but I feel that having a significant other to grow with and experience life with, I don't know what that feels like because I've been so focused on my career.
Something that is true but is not talked about enough is how lonely women are. How they're more lonely than we are as men. But that's not talked about. And it's for two reasons, because the male loneliness has been talked about so much that the women's loneliness has been forgotten. And the other reason too is that women, they know how to hide it better. They know how to hide it better. The girl you follow on Instagram every day and you see her living it up and doing this and doing that, you have no idea how lonely she is. No idea. And it's different the way we see it as men, because for us, as long as we got a girl that's, letting us clap and we got, hang out with the homies and we do this and we play video games, do this, we good. But women, they're so used to, being chased that they want more than that. And when they don't get that, they feel lonely. But of course, you're never going to know that. Why? Because they know how to hide it. That's another thing we got to learn we got to learn from women is how to hide things, because they're really good at that.
Women, you have been lied to for decades through propaganda. To be very, very clear, transgenderism, sexual liberation, and abortion have nothing to do with women's rights. Calling these movements feminism is not only inaccurate, but it's dangerous, it's destructive. Feminism promised empowerment, but you know what it delivered? It delivered emptiness. It sold women the lie that children are burdens, that family is a limitation, and that fulfillment comes from self-centered autonomy rather than self-giving love.
Can we talk about why modern women are lonelier than ever? Because nobody wants to admit the real reason. I see it everywhere. Successful women with amazing careers, perfect Instagram feeds, but they're absolutely miserable and isolated. And I know because I used to be one of them. We were told that independence was everything, that we didn't need anyone, that needing people was weakness, so we built these perfect little walls around ourselves. We chose careers over relationships, being right over being loved, and proving ourselves over connecting with others. We pushed away anyone who tried to get close to us because we had to be strong. And now we're sitting in our perfectly decorated apartments, scrolling through dating apps, wondering why we feel so empty inside.
This woman lived. The experiment ran it for years and came back to tell you the results. Perfect apartment, perfect career, perfect Instagram, and a perfectly empty heart. She said we pushed away anyone who tried to get close because we had to be strong. And that's the cruelest part of this whole lie you were told. Needing people is weakness, so you armored up, built walls, got your independence trophy, and one random Tuesday night, the silence hits you. No one to call, no one coming home, no one who even knows you had a bad day. Connection isn't weakness, it's literally the thing keeping humans alive, and pretending you don't need it is just slow starvation with good lighting.
We have everything modern feminism promised us, but we've never been more alone. Because the truth is, humans are wired for connection. Especially women, we need community, partnership, and deep relationships. But we've been convinced that wanting these things makes us weak or pick-me's. The loneliness epidemic isn't an accident. It's what happens when you tell women to reject everything that actually fulfills them. You can have all the success in the world, but if you don't have real connection, you have nothing.
The feminist movement was fighting for equal opportunity for women in education and the workforce. The sexual revolution was fighting for all sorts of sexual freedoms. Cosmo, we pretended that this sexual revolution was a freedom for women. It actually was not. It was actually kind of a slavery. But we pretended it was freedom for women. And over time, as the sexual revolution and the women's movement got identified closer and closer together,